Welcome everyone to another edition of Hardcore Wrestling Radio, Hardcore Wrestling Rants. I am your hardcore host, Rick Head, and I'm joined by the hardcore crew. First, she is the vicious vixen, Zoe Nightshade. Zoe, what's going on, honey?
Not too much is going on. I did get in contact with that promoter. He is saying that, sorry, I'm trying to promote his show. I can't find it now. Anyway, yeah, nothing's going on. Sorry.
All right, no worries. And of course, we have the incomparable Lance Moss over at Lance Moss TV. Lance, what's shaking?
Not too much, but this is going to be a fun one.
Oh, yeah, we got a lot to talk about. And last and certainly not least, he's back from an early vacation. He's a Lord Skeldron, Joseph Knight. Joe, what's going on?
Nothing much besides thunderstorms, and it looks like even my internet's starting to kick in and out, but I'll hold on to you. I'm cracking my knuckles with this because I can't wait to start ranting on the stuff.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I never thought I would actually even hear the words that Vince McMahon retires. And this happened earlier this week. And this, of course, came off the set of Vince McMahon having to step away due to the recent sex scandals that's been coming out. Right now, Stephanie stepped up as new CEO of the WWE. We also know that John Laurinaitis is gone from the company. And lastly, of course, Bruce Pritchard is gone for about 6 months due to a rotacuff injury. So that was all three right off the bat. You know, now we have Triple H, who came back in, is now the head role of WWE Creative. A lot to take in, guys. Joe, we were talking earlier before the show started, and you don't think that Vince is gone permanently. I myself, I really wonder if that is the case, if he's gone, because you know what, he's 77 years old. This whole lawsuit could take years on his time, and he might just want to say, you know what, I'm done.
You know, and I said this also, and we did a little fact finding. It is the anniversary of his steroid scandal trial. It also was in July, thanks to Zoe, finding out that info. Basically, Vince McMahon is not ever going to leave the WWE. This is a company that, and for all the scandals, from the steroid scandal to the sex scandal to the other stuff that happened in the back, Vince McMahon will always go down as the most brilliant mind in professional wrestling. He took his dad's company, which was an NWA territory. Yes, the WWF, not E, was known as WWWF and was part of the NWA. Isn't that a coinkydink? He managed to own everything except for the rundown now NWA that's still. So, how funny it is to see this, and he's done so much in the business. But I'm going to say, like I said, I'm going on record, and I'm going to say he's not gone from the company. He appointed someone to run the company, and it's his own daughter who's running the company, who at any time, once these steroids and steroids, I keep referring to that because we're in the anniversary of it. Once all the sex scandals are done, expect to see Vince McMahon coming back, because he's done it before. When the scandals hit, he was going to appoint Jerry Jarrett, Jeff Jarrett's father, to run the company with Kevin Dunn. You know, the potato chips with the buck teeth Kevin Dunn. And when the steroid scandal settled, Vince McMahon moved aside. You know, he was cleared. He went right back to work. Now with the sex scandals, we're looking at another reiteration of that same thing, Rick. And I think that's why he put his daughter in charge. And you got Nick Khan, who's basically Mr. Firing Nick Khan. You know, he's there, so it looks pretty good on paper. But otherwise, you're not going to see any changes. You're going to see Vince McMahon. I think the only way you're going to see Vince McMahon gone is when he's dead, and he won't be able to get away from it.
Well, again, I still have certain different thoughts about it. I mean, is it possible he can come back? Absolutely. Do I think he's still whispering in Stephanie McMahon's ear, and she's gonna take it what she will and use it to her advantage or to the company's advantage? Yes, absolutely. But I was speaking to my woman, my girlfriend, and she thinks that honestly it was Stephanie who brought Vince to the corner, and she said, "Dad, you need to retire for the moment. You need to step down and get all this ugliness away from the company." Lance, what's your thoughts?
Well, do I think Vince is gone? Yes, but I think it's going to be more like, all right, like in The Godfather. Yeah, Michael Corleone got made the new Godfather, but his father was still in the background giving him advice. So I think that's once this blows over, because Vince is a elderly man. Let's just be honest. That'll be the role he takes on, if at all. Because if he doesn't have anything to do with this company, I don't think it'll be but 2 or 3 more years before they're doing a memorial picture before Raw or SmackDown saying Vince McMahon, however, to 20 whatever.
All right. Zoe, let me spin this one at you. Let's say, okay, right now we know that Vince is gone, and even let's say 2 or 3 years, goes and it's all clears, and they just want to bring him back for a cameo. Do you think the fans are going to boo the shit out of him, or you think the fans are going to mark?
I think the fans are going to mark out. They mark out even now, for crying out loud. After all this happened, Vince came out on SmackDown to open up SmackDown, and they still marked out for him. I don't know if maybe it was a voice play over like they tend to do, or if it was actually the fans marking out.
And that's actually a very good point. WWE does like to can in their own personal responses, but I didn't watch that episode, so I don't know if you actually saw if the fans respond. But nevertheless, you know what the future really holds for Vince McMahon, I guess it's just a matter of wait and see. Moving along with all this, in the back of our head, there have been rumors that WWE is gonna there are claims that WWE is going to be selling to the company, selling out, and they adamantly squashed all rumors saying not happening. One article noted that several big networks did make offers, such as Disney, Amazon, and Warner Brothers, who owns TBS and TNT. However, WWE has turned down all offers. I said it earlier on the chat room. As long as a McMahon is at the helm and the company's making money, they are never going to sell the name WWE, let alone any form of product. Joe?
You know what? The only person I could have seen actually with serious offers would have been Tony Khan from AEW, who would have thrown his hat into the company. Again, it's not going to happen because again, this is Vince McMahon's baby. No matter who's in charge, it's Vince McMahon that's going to be running it and saying no, and he could tell his daughter, "You're part of the whole. You're the co-CEO. You don't have to go along with everything that everybody says. It's still her voice, or should I say, his voice through her demonic possession." So you're not going to see that. Honestly, it's too soon. If the company starts going downhill, that's when you might see them entertaining it. And again, I can see Tony Khan being the first one buying it. You're not going to see anybody else. You're not going to see Eric Bischoff. You're not going to see Ted Turner. You're not going to see any of these people. Disney, maybe. But again, Disney, while they're in entertainment, they don't know nothing. They don't know nothing of professional wrestling. So that's not going to happen.
Yeah, and I even read there were others, like I said, like Amazon. I'm like, Amazon Prime. Who's gonna watch wrestling on Amazon Prime? Well,
no, you know what? It's a smart deal because think about this. While you could scoff at the idea, remember they have Amazon Prime. You have to subscribe to it, just like Peacock. So if another network, or should I say, a big company like that has streaming power, they can, do that, and they can actually buy the company and throw it on there. Now you got to pay their rate to watch WWE.
Yeah.
Who knows? They might even charge more for a pay-per-view. So it's a smart business deal. It's just like the Orville, the Seth MacFarlane's Star Trek series type Star Trek series. He was on Hulu Plus, and Disney picked it up. So he's going to make more money because it's a bigger platform. So there you go. I could see if the company goes down. And again, Rick, I think if McMahon is really gone, and that's a huge if, and if the company suffers in 6 months, then you could see the for sale sign being put in front of the building.
Yeah, well, like I said, again, for me, I don't see it happening. But a lot of people have been rumored. Lance, this is not the first time we've heard these rumors. People have been saying for decades, and like Vince McMahon, when he's gone, he's going to sell the company. He's not going to pass it on to his kids. For me, that never made sense. You want to continue the McMahon legacy.
Yeah, I mean, I'll put it like this. Vince has, I heard, somewhere in the 80% range of the shares in the company still. So they can make him retire. They can't make him sell. So the only way this company's selling is over his dead body.
Yeah, and again, like I said, he would have to write in his will that, fuck my kids, I'm going to sell to whoever at the highest bidder, and I'll sell it to my grandkids, If Stephanie wasn't around, then you know what, it might happen because him and Vince and Shane have never seen eye to eye. But all joking aside, again, I don't see WWE selling.
No.
Zoe, final thoughts.
No, as long as there's a McMahon alive in the company, it's not going to sell. Stephanie is not going to sell her daddy's company. You'd have to pry it out with McMahon's cold, dead hands.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving on, a big match at SummerSlam is canceled. Seth Rollins was supposed to face Riddle at SummerSlam. However, this past Monday on Raw, Riddle suffered a stinger after being after taking a stomp on the outside of the ring. So WWE officially announced it. So this leaves Seth Rollins up in air. So Joe,
he's finally Riddle got slapped by his own his little sandals in its face. That's what really took him out. He kicked him up and he slapped him in his face. Good for that fucking piece of garbage. This fucking coked up piece of shit. Anyway, you know how WWE found him with his head stuck in the fucking sand? Him going, "Whoa, dude, the sand. Mr. Krabs really lives." Yeah.
Joe, I'm sorry, I've got to say it, especially because I didn't get to say it last week. And that's Joe at ScoldingStream.com.
I love that. I missed that so much.
And you know what, right? He was also probably getting high,
over in the HWR YouTube channel on the chat room, Terry 3G says he would watch it on Amazon Prime if it's included for free with the base Prime membership. Again, good point there.
Yeah.
Lance, I missed that. That's why I had to start going on this quick rant. I don't like Riddle, but I had to go on this rough one because I had to wait. I've been waiting a damn week to hear somebody say that.
And Terry, thank you for giving your input. And also, so right now, Joe, where does this leave with Seth Rollins? Does Seth Rollins have like a mystery opponent, or is he just gonna have to miss out on one?
Come on, Rick. The mystery opponent is Cody.
No, Cody's still got a few months out.
It's WWE. He'll either come back, get a quick thing, or there's really no one else that makes sense. Who's he really gonna take on? Look at the roster. There's really, really no one unless they pull something out of a hat and bring somebody who left the company and decides to come back. There is no one literally that would make sense. Let me just say that would make sense unless there's one other person, Edge, and
That's why I
that's a
was
long
just
shot.
thinking.
Yep, that's another
Go ahead,
possibility.
Zoe.
Zoe, over to you.
I was saying that's exactly what I was thinking about. Maybe Edge, as far as that goes. That sucks about Matt Riddle. I mean, bro, come on. But Seth Rollins is not going to sit out SummerSlam. We all know better than that. They'll figure something out for him.
Well, Joe, you both made a fair point, but Joe said you have to look at the roster, and you got to wonder if maybe they might bring somebody from NXT on the fly up and say, "All right, kid, here's your shot. You're gonna go against Seth Rollins at
Put him with Elias, Ezekiel, Elrod, whatever he calls himself this week.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on with that shit. That would just be a kickoff show.
What's that other guy? Mad Cat? That's another fucking person they can try to throw him up, or Sami Zayn, or freaking, what is his name? Oh, you know what? This is how bad, ladies and gentlemen, that these guys, you can remember Hulk Hogan, you can remember the Macho Man, you can remember The Rock, Stone Cold. I can't remember none of these fuckers who are currently on the roster. And people like, bro, that's kind of even makes me more want to fucking just take an ice pick and hit my eyes so I don't have to watch professional wrestling.
Well, at least keep one eye open so you can watch AEW. But you know what? Honestly, with this whole new setup and creative, I wouldn't be surprised if they could put a rabbit out of their hat and have a match, and hopefully it will be a good one. With the new creative in line and the new management setup, I really have high hopes, so I'm going to give WWE another shot. So I'll be watching it, and I'll be giving my thoughts on next Tuesday. So, moving on. Now we have to actually do the actual picks for the WWE for SummerSlam. Don't mind me, guys. Been smoking too much pot today. Anyways, here's the rundown. We're going to start off with Logan Paul versus The Miz. Who cares? But I'm guessing, considering The Miz does his TV shows and is starting to been passing the buck, passing the torch, I'm guessing Logan Paul is going to get the win, and that's just a random guess. Zoe?
Maurice with the brick in her purse.
All right, fair enough. And Lance, over to you.
The concession stand. I mean Logan Paul.
All right, Joe.
Maurice with the boobs in the face.
Yeah, they'll bring back the puppies. It's rated TV 14.
Yeah, that'll
so
be a winner. It's going to be Logan Paul. They got to give this Joker some credibility so they can start using him more. Miz is going to start slowing down soon.
Yeah, I think he's pretty much come to that point where he's more of an entertainer than a wrestler, but he has this as a back burner, making that extra money. But again, move on to the next match, the Raw Women's Championship, Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch. Now, both of these ladies are two-time won the champions more than once. Becky, of course, she came back, and I really don't like that weird-ass big-time Bex gimmick. I think I should have called her big-time boobs Bex, but, honestly, I don't really see a winner. I'll do a coin toss, and I'll say Bianca Belair. Joe, your pick.
Oh, geez, coked up Becky. They kicked out of my move. Gotta clean the nose. Gotta clean the nose. Look, I tell everybody, look back on her matches now and we made fun of Ronda Rousey with her raccoon makeup. Look at fucking Becky Lynch with that red fucking slap nuts mask she wears. That's a thing you haven't heard in a long time, slap nuts.
Yeah, no kidding.
Joe.
So, Bianca's gonna get this. It's maybe a DQ win just to keep the coked up Becky there. But, gee, mommy, what are you doing? Nothing. They just kicked out of my move. You're not gonna. It's gonna be Bianca. They're not gonna put the belt back on her. It's too much of the same thing.
All right, and next match, which again that's going to be a piss break, is Pat McAfee versus Happy Corbin. Now, the problem thing is with Corbin, when he first came into NXT, they made him like a badass. Even though his hair was thinning really bad, and I understand why he had to shave it, but he changed gimmicks so many times, and now he has this Happy Corbin gimmick, which makes him look like a fucking jackass. Lance, over to you.
Well, I think Happy Corbin's going to be sad Saturday night. I'm giving it to Pat McAfee.
Really? Wow. All right. Zoe, over to you.
I can't fucking stand Happy Corbin.
And you know what I miss? I miss Applebee's Corbin. Applebee's manager Corbin. That was funny. But anyway, I'm going to go Pat McAfee as well.
All right. Joe, over to you. A commentator versus a shitty wrestler.
Oh, God. Why?
Yeah.
Why? Are we that bad off that they don't have anybody else but a fucking third-rate commentator who sits with a fourth-rate co-commentator wrestling a guy who is now down to third-rate wrestler? Sappy Corbin should not even. He needs to go back, grow his hair, and be the badass he was in the beginning.
Well, I don't think that's going to happen unless we get to hair plugs.
To the third-rate commentator, because he's got his legions of fans on Twitter, Facebook, or whatever shit he uses. So yeah, it's going to be Pat McAfee. So
all right. Well, I don't know. I guess
Rick, how come each match so far you've announced, and it's only been what, 2, and it's already we're dreading this. This
3 matches so far. Yes.
All right, so I missed one because it was that bad.
Yeah, we did Logan Paul and Miz,
dreading it.
Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, and then we did the Pat McAfee and Happy Corbin. I hope Corbin wins. If not, you might as well just fire the prick. I'm sorry. If he's just gonna be the guy that's gonna get a job out to everybody, including a fucking commentator, a little weirdo. But now we're going to move on to the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship, and that'll be versus the Street Profits and the Usos. I'd like to think that the Street Profits are going to get the win, but unfortunately, I don't see that happening. They are popular, but there's already been rumors about the Street Profits splitting up. So, and the Usos, come on, they're with their Roman Reigns, so they're part of the bloodline, so they're going to get that push. Do I see them winning? Yeah, absolutely. They're going to be the new undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions. Joe, over to you.
Yeah, same thing. I think the Usos are going to get this. The Street Profits are going to explode, and it's just going to be another tag team that's going to go the wayside of Men on a Mission, and it's it's not surprising that they're going to break up another team. It could not happen, but the Street Profits have been going over, and this is getting boring. Notice the pattern. It's a new era, and apparently this smells still Vince McMahon because he wrote it before he retired, quote unquote retired. So yeah, Rick, you're gonna see the Usos part of the blowjob line. I mean the blow line. I mean the bloodline, because Lord knows they have to blow someone. They have
no, I think that's Roman Reigns, and that they just live off the perks.
Oh, that they blow him because look at all this stuff. Well, either that or they're blowing dust on driving. The real thing is, are the Usos going to get arrested tonight for or Saturday night for DUI? Let's see if that match really happens.
All right, and then we have a United States Championship match. It's Bobby Lashley versus Theory. Now, honestly, Theory's been on a run, but Vince McMahon's not in there, so The question is, are they going to keep Theory pushing Theory, or are they going to have him beat Lashley? And I'm going to go, on the dark side. I'm going to say it's going to be Theory. Lance, over to you. Oh, wait, hold on. We're still on Street Profits. I'm sorry, Lance. Go back to the...
Yeah.
I kicked right over. Sorry. With Joe's rant, I always get distracted. I'm sorry, guys.
Hold up. When you said let's go, when you started talking about Theory and Bobby Lashley, and you said I'm going to go to the dark side there, I was like, so you're picking Bobby?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Joe at ScoldensRealm.com.
All right. Back to the Usos and Street Profits. I know I've been fucking up. All right, leave me alone. I'm a stoner, okay?
We do have a special guest referee in this match.
Okay.
Oh, God almighty.
Was it Cheech Marin? Tommy Chong?
Jeff Jarrett.
He's a special referee. You're kidding, or is this a joke?
Zoe,
No,
am I kidding? Am I kidding, Zoe?
Oh my God.
No,
That's JEFFJR.
Yeah.
RRE.
Anyway.
I'm desperate for a job, Jarrett.
I'm gonna give it to the Usos.
All right, Zoe, final say.
God, kill me now. The Usos.
All right. And what does Terry G have to say over in the chat room? Any picks?
That's what I was gonna put that for you. He says he will face Happy Corbin, and a loser makes. We're referring to the Corbin match here, real quick. He says he'll have Corbin will have a loser make a cake match, since Happy Corbin thinks in 5 to 10 years after wrestling he's more likely to become a chef, which will probably be more Chef Corbin. That'll probably be another gimmick. He talks about Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee will push Corbin into early chefhood. We can only hope.
Well, you know how that would work, right? The only way that gimmick would work right now is you have Chef Ramsay as a manager. Other than that, it's going to fall flat. But then again, all those other gimmicks have fallen flat. So.
Well, no. Picture like this. And Terry said it. He could be a chef on the Food Network. Lord knows they're running out of chefs. Their chefs keep fucking committing suicide or dying from something. No, I'm not lying.
I know you're not lying. It's just, oh, God.
Say it with me now. Folks, that's Joe at ScoldensRealm.com.
Yeah, folks, every time I say something and it has some factual shit behind it, I get the gmail.com thing, which is fucking funny because I love your hate mail, and I love somebody actually says, is that your real email? Yes. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah.
All right. And now finally we're back to Bobby Lashley versus Theory. I don't know what it is with WWE just canceling out one name. So I still think that Theory is going to get the win. He's going to get the push, unless, of course, Vince stepping down changed everything. Zoe, your pick.
Sorry, what?
Bobby Lashley versus Austin Theory for the Theory versus Bobby Lashley for the U.S. Championship.
I don't care. They're both boring.
That's true. That is very true. But the way, like I said, my logic is that Bobby Lashley's had the title for some time, and they need to push new talent. So Theory, unfortunately, is been on the rise. He's won the Money in the Bank. Sooner or later, he might win the title, but not unless Roman Reigns gets injured and has an open title or whatever, and it's vacated, and by some weird chance, somebody like Happy Corbin wins it, and then Theory cashes in. So, anyways, so Joe, your pick: Bobby Lashley or Theory?
I was gonna go to the dark side like you, but I'm not racist, so I'm gonna go the other way. I'm gonna pick the Sammy Guevara clone in Austin Theory. I
wouldn't call him a clone, but okay, the wannabe.
Well, he's a wannabe. He just needs a Ty Conte in his corner. He could have used Paige in that corner, but Lord knows if he wins the U.S. title, what will happen to it. It's a much bigger belt too. So
Much bigger target, so, you know.
Yeah, exactly. She might try to find new ways to stick it somewhere. So, gee, yeah, I say I'm gonna say Theory. Bobby had it so much. I think it's time for Theory to win it. Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Theory hold that belt?
Yes.
Yes, he did. Actually,
Okay.
I don't know who he lost it to. I think it might have been Lashley, but I don't hold me to it.
Yes.
Lance, final pick.
Okay, because they have they have Theory basically saying he's going to make a run at the title later in the night. I don't think he's going to pick this up. I think Bobby Lashley's going to retain.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. That's an interesting point. There's always a speculation that, with him having the money in back, they're going to say he's going to cash in. He's going to cash in, and we'll talk about the main event very briefly. Now, there's also SmackDown Women's Championship, Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey. Liv Morgan's been on a push. And I honestly think that Morgan's going to keep that push by beating Ronda Rousey. I think it's for the second time. So, guys, Zoe, I'll give it to you first.
Probably Ronda Rousey. Honestly, neither of them are ready for championship gold.
Well, I don't know. I mean, if you ask me, I think Morgan's improved. Roundy has kind of improved, but I still hate her. But at least Liv Morgan's been a wrestler for, more years, far more years than Ronda Rousey. All Ronda Rousey is an MMA fighter that's just changed to a wrestler. Lance, your pick.
Well, since this is not Natalya in this match with Liv, I'm going to give it to Liv.
Yeah, no kidding. I think Ronda Rousey will at least sell a finisher.
Right.
And Joe, finally, over to you.
Oh, shit. Well, the real winners are the concession stands. Buy your T-shirts. Go get your popcorn. Buy the shirt. There you go.
Go
honestly, this is the worst match probably of the night. You have one girl who's a legitimate badass who can kick people's ass in MMA fights. And why she hasn't gone ballistic and just ripped apart the roster is, I know it's coordinated, so. Yeah, and then they have to give it to the piss poor girl because she's the honky-tonk man of this era. Let's give it to her because she's blowing a lot of people.
Can I be one of those people?
Yeah, right? Let's get in line.
Yeah, no kidding.
So, it's my wife says she'll kill me. So, but
well, all right then. That's one less. I'll just take your place.
Thing, so, again, the real break here is the concession stands and the bathroom breaks. You know those guys who hold the towels for you. Boy, they're gonna make a killing tonight. Saturday night.
Making money in Nashville.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, so far
will be holding one of those towels.
So far, this card is not looking pleasing. And again, we said State of War. Seth Rollins is versus Riddle. I can't even say. I'm used to saying the full name, but they're out. So Riddle's out, and Seth Rollins is kind of hanging in the wind. Now, the final match is the WWE Unification match. Finally, we have unified these fucking titles. It's Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns in a last man standing match. Now, there was rumors that Brock Lesnar was all pissed off about Vince stepping down and retiring. But I understand that, the creative and people got to him and started talking to him and cooler heads prevailed. There was one rumor saying that he was even going to come to SummerSlam. But obviously, that's not the case. I see Reigns winning this, period. No questions. It's not even a question in my head because Brock Lesnar, I can see him leaving real quick for a while until he might want to come back when Vince comes back. Who knows? I don't know what he has on his contract issues. So.
Well, I can tell you what's probably going to happen.
Okay.
Roman Reigns is going to win by DQ due to the Usos coming in.
It's the last man standing. There is no DQ.
Okay, so put it like this. The Usos are going to come in and start beating the hell out of Brock. And Roman's going to get beaten down to make this credible. And yes, I actually said that word in professional wrestling. To make this credible, okay, Roman's going to get the shit beat out of him. That's what it's going to have to be done. If you're smart, creative, you have Roman get thrown from pillar to post, by luck getting up without being counted out. Okay? It's going to end up being the Usos when Roman's on his last leg, cannot get up. Usos going to run in. They're going to beat up on Brock until he can't get up. And they'll help Roman up by prancing him. They'll weekend at Bernie's. They'll lean Roman at the corner. And they will, or weekend at Biden's. So I have to throw that in there. So Roman will get the win. But I guarantee you I can see the Usos walking back. They'll leave when the count's going on and Brock is going to be out cold. And guess what? That's when Theory's going to make his chance. I don't think that's going to happen, though. I don't think that's going to happen. So, I thought these titles were already unified. How the fuck do you not? I thought they were unified a long time ago. Okay.
He had both titles. He didn't unify them. That was the original plan, but for some reason they just want. I don't know why they said, oh well, now that you think about it, we're gonna have them just have Roman hold both titles. But now again, yes, it's an official unification match. Unless, of course, WWE changes their mind tomorrow.
Well, I think, honestly, with the deep roster they have, I could see them just making the one belt, and that's it. And honestly, I think that's the best thing right now with the lack of talent. They need to start letting go of some of these people or reorganizing the company. So I can see Roman retaining, Brock probably leaving because he's not going to be held favorable because Vince is not there. Unless Vince, like I said, unless Vince has his say. Over at the chat room, by the way, Terry says, stipulation in the match, first to make sausage wins the title. So Brock wins that. I wouldn't be surprised. Then you can have Sable playing with the sausage.
I don't
know. I don't want to see Sable. Have you seen Sable recently? Ugh.
Whole lot of no.
Yeah, there used to be one time where she was actually very, sexy. Of course, this is when she was in Playboy. But then she had all shitloads of plastic put up on her face, and now that she's getting old and she's let the muscle gone down, she looks like a fucking skeleton. It's scary. I don't even know how Brock is fucking her. I'm serious.
Well, you know what? You know what happened? Brock left her too close to the candles.
Okay, Lance, your pick.
Roman, and I think Theory's going to cash in and end the night as champ.
Interesting. All right. I'm not sure if I agree with you then, because I think right now Roman Reigns is still the strongest champion right now. And they've been pushing him as the head guy, another John Cena or a Hulk Hogan, so to speak.
The sumbitch has not defended that top in all the time he's had it. Has only defended that damn thing on TV twice, and that's counting this one.
Well, you know what, Joe? I'm Zoe. I've not forgotten you, but Joe, let's go back in history. And Hulk Hogan had the title. How many times did he really defend a title on the weekends, on the weekend shows, aside from Saturday night's main event?
Oh, hell, even Saturday night's main event, Hogan didn't defend the title the whole time. I think from what I remember, the first one he was taking on Nikolai Volkov. He took on Nikolai Volkov. The second one he was in a tag match. The third one he was in a tag match. He fought Terry Funk. So it was very rare Hogan defended the belt. And again, the logic, but this is logic back then. Logic back then was, you kept the champion unreserved as your real ticket commodity. That's your money you made from that. So, with that being said, Reigns doesn't really have to. There's really no competition for Reigns. Everybody that's there, everybody that's there either had it, either is not ready for it, or they're too small to stand up to Roman Reigns. unless like chicanery comes down and Theory wins it, because like my scenario where Brock beats him down and the Usos beat Brock up, unless you have Roman Reigns technically incapacitated, there's no way anybody can beat him. You have Cody, maybe when Cody's back, whenever. Seth has been to the mountaintop too many times. AJ is never. That's not going to happen. So again, I could see that's why he doesn't defend the belt. Who's he going to defend the belt against? Happy Corbin? There's really no one to defend the belt of high caliber. That's why they keep him off television.
Yeah, unfortunately, and that's the case. Zoe, so you get the final word on who's going to win, Lesnar or Reigns?
Okay, first I'm going to tell you my pick, and then I'm going to tell you what would be freaking awesome to happen. First, my pick is going to be Roman. But I would love for this to happen. Roman gets the win. That idiot with the Money in the Bank comes down there cashing in. Roman gives him a spear. The Usos give him a super kick. Brock Lesnar takes him to Suplex City, and Roman pins him and retains the title.
Well,
you say this.
Yeah. Well, there's no doubt that the Usos are going to be a play in this match, one way or another. But I can still see, they're going to get their asses kicked by Lesnar. And then, of course, after the fact, Roman Reigns will eventually get the win. The only way Theory is going to come in, cash in a win, is if Roman Reigns is literally barely standing on his feet. So, again,
I'm just saying that's what I want to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Is it possible? Yes. Likely? Nah, I'm not really betting on it. But there you have it, guys. So, right now we're going to wrap this up edition of Hardcore Wrestling Radio. Hardcore Wrestling Rants, I keep on saying it. And I want to thank, of course, the Hardcore crew for hanging out with us. Joe, you're over at Skullduggeon Realms. Tell everybody about it.
Hey everybody, I am at Skullduggeon's Realm. Look at hashtag Skullduggeon's Realm. I do games from retro to the day, from PC to console. I'm on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. I took some time off, but I guess I'm going to have to start going. I'm going to go back to it. And I want to thank Terry over at the YouTube chat room for popping into the stream. We got Skipper, the Lower East Side survivor. He's there. He just popped in. How you doing? So, anybody want? And don't forget BC Games and More. Check out BC and Mrs. A every Sunday night at 9:00 over on Facebook. Again, BC Games and More. So now that I got those props out of the way, and Lance can hit you with my Gmail one more time. So that's if you want to make the dark pick. That's if you want to make the dark pick the dark side in SummerSlam. So.
Well, at least we're not on Facebook, so that's a plus. So I have a little bitch about that, but that's a different story for another time. Lance, you are over on Lance Moss TV. What's going on over there?
Well, every Tuesday night we go live on Lance Moss TV and friends. Well, I never know who's going to show up. And well, the guitar builds are going to be coming back. It's been too damn hot. It's to the dangerous point, and we got to get the compressor fixed. But they will be coming back.
Well, I can't wait. You've done some great work, and we're really looking for it. And then, Zoe, you said that you might be possibly going back to wrestling. What's going on?
I would love to go back to wrestling. I'm just waiting to get booked. In the meantime, there is a promotion that I do want to promote. It's traditional Southern wrestling. They like to bring family entertainment. Their next show is going to be August the 13th over in Jellicoe, Tennessee. And if you are in Jellicoe, it's right near the Jellicoe Library. You can't miss it. It's at the Veterans Park. Definitely check these guys out. There's a lot of talent in that locker room, and they have such a great fan base and ring crew. You definitely need to get part of that fan base.
Make sure you tell them, if you go to the show, make sure you tell them Hardcore Wrestling Rants was the one that sent you.
Exactly.
And you can blame Zoe if the show is bad.
So for the Hardcore crew, I'm your Hardcore host, Rick Head, saying, we'll see ya when we see ya.
Punisher!